Were you paddling up there? Get there and they who were you paddling with? We went with very several rivers in the Yukon Territory, down to the Yukon River Hey Tyler, you want to settle up here? Hold the banner. River in it, so we don't want to go loose. Okay. Hey, let's cuddle up over here! Cuddle up over here! I'm not sure about the guys. We're going to try out this banner and see what it looks like if it sort of sits here. Hold it up at the stern. Yep. I like that. I'm open to whatever people think looks good from your perspective. Yeah. Photographers, do you want it in front? Do you want it in back?
Anybody needs an umbrella? I hung one up in the tree.
It's all right there. It blocks quite a few people. But
does it? We can move it back.
We should all raise our paddles.
Yeah, I like that. I love that. That looks good. Great. You must be in marketing. The people holding up the banner are.
Don, it covered you up perfectly. It's perfect.
Does anybody want to say anything? If anybody want any paddle lessons on the way to the Kawishiwi Lodge, just connect with an Outward Bound staff and they'll teach everything they know. All right, let's give it 3 cheers. Hip hip. Hooray! 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 All right, let's enjoy the Kawishiwi River.
Let's get these other boats get out. Darwin, do you want to come with us? Yeah.
yep.
Go makes a huge difference in the weather. place is meant to be a place for the community. We all live here for a reason. We all spend time here, own property here for a reason. This is one of the most incredible places on earth. We are lucky that it's been recognized as such an incredible place. It's protected as a national wilderness area, 1.1 million acres in size. It's actually been protected since 1926, the second oldest protected area in a wilderness category in the United States. We're here because we have wonderful clean water. We're here because we have a fabulous community. It's a community in which we're healthy. It's a community in which many people here have built sustainable jobs that are in harmony with our environment and can continue forever. So we are for those things. We are for protecting clean water, healthy communities, and the boundary waters. But we have the center because we're concerned. And we are hoping that this community will have a conversation about these concerns and that our community will decide its future. The concerns are centered around sulfide ore mining, which is a very toxic form of mining, done all over the world and generally introduces toxic pollutants into the environment. People like me who grew up here remember Ely as having a strong mining presence. That was iron ore and taconite, which is a very different form of mining. What's being proposed now is sulfide ore mining. It's very low grade, and it is only now economically feasible because mining this kind of ore is very cost effective. It's cost effective because it's automated. In the last several decades, the production of copper has remained the same, but the employment has dropped by 71%. So it's less expensive now to dig up copper than it has been before. The demand is high because China is growing by leaps and bounds. It's building out its cities, it's building new cities, and it's stockpiling raw copper and recycled copper. And they're driving the price. So we have low cost, high price, and all of a sudden this low-grade ore is economically viable. But it carries a very high risk to those values of this area that we love. And we think that risk should be identified by this community, and we have a conversation about whether we're willing to risk our clean water, our clean air, our forested landscape, our boundary waters for mining that ore. So we're welcoming everybody from the community into the center to talk about this, to learn about this. We have a lot of educational material up. Please look at it. Help us make this better. We're open to suggestions. We'd love suggestions. We'd love participation. We're also here to celebrate our national partner, American Rivers. Because of the threat to the watershed of the boundary waters by sulfide ore mining, the American Rivers chose the South Kawishiwi River and the boundary waters as one of the 10 most endangered rivers in America for 2013. It's not exactly an honor a river wants to have, and so it's hard to celebrate that. But we really appreciate the attention and the support of American Rivers to tell the story and to get people engaged from across the country. And so if you log on to our two laptops over here, we will take you to the American Rivers website where you can sign a petition that asks our policymakers to protect the watershed of the boundary waters. You can also sign a canoe that Winona made just for us, beautiful canoe in the back room, and that's a petition for President Obama asking him to protect the watershed of the boundary waters from pollution from sulfide ore mining. We are delighted to have a member of the board of directors of American Rivers here with us to honor the South Kawishiwi and the work we're doing. Our guest, Jamie Pinker. Jamie, he lives in St. Paul, lived most of his life on the West Coast, and he's been served on a number of national boards. He was on Defenders of Wildlife, Trust for Public Land, the Wilderness Society Board, and now on American Rivers. So he's a very distinguished person in conservation, and we're just thrilled to have him here. And with that, I'm going to turn to Jamie to add a few remarks about American Rivers and the South Kawishiwi River.
Well, I may have been on American Rivers' board for one meeting. Actually, I have my second meeting at the end of next week. I've been a long fan of American Rivers, as Becky said, my work on the Pacific Northwest. According to my grandfather, there was a time when all the creatures in the world could speak. And the Creator called them all together and told them that a great change was coming, and that each of the creatures had to qualify themselves in order to survive and remain in this world. So one by one, the Creator called all the animals forward. And when Mule Deer came forward, he told the Creator that from my hide, they can make clothing, and from my antlers, they can make tools. And so Creator agreed, and then Mule Deer was qualified. Salmon came forward, and the salmon said, from my skin there are glues, and they could use these to fashion their bows. And from my flesh will be food to nourish them. Creator agreed, and then salmon became qualified. Even the wolf came together, and the wolf said, we have a constitution, a natural constitution on behavior, with roles and responsibilities. We will teach these new beings about community, the family, the clan systems. And the Creator agreed, and wolf became qualified. According to my grandfather, all the animals came forward to qualify themselves, because when the change would occur, these new beings would come who would be naked and hungry and lack wisdom to survive in this world. And indeed, when the great change came, the human beings came to this world, and then the animals could no longer talk. According to my grandfather, that was their time, but now this is our time. So it's our time to make a commitment to respond and to act, and to become qualified to work on behalf of the natural world, which can no longer speak for itself. Now, I'm from the Pacific Northwest, and I've spent a lot of time with the Nez Perce tribe, where I'm from, fighting for wild rivers. And I know the kind of challenges that you're facing here. From the Columbia and the Snake Rivers, it's overtaxed river system with dams, irrigation, hydro generation, withdrawals, diversions, you name it. Even the Columbia River, with its large pools, is used for toxic waste disposal and the sediments. So I recognize the challenges that you face here. One of the things that I think is important when we look at this is a love of place. And when I was asking Becky for information on the Kawishiwi River, she sent me a map, and you know what? I couldn't figure out where the river was. But you think about the Kawishiwi River as it twists and turns, and it even splits, and it hides within the lakes and hides amongst the towering white pines. What it's trying to do is celebrate the first freedom of this country, nature's freedom, to live under the first laws in this country, natural law. And I see you are here because you love this place. And when American Rivers identified this as one of the most endangered rivers in the United States, we recognize the commitment of the people here, on behalf of an entire nation, on behalf of people like me from the Pacific Northwest who love wild, free-flowing rivers and pure waters, that you are willing to step forward and accept the courage to protect the places that you love and to protect the places that all of us love across the world. I'm a grandfather now, and so for me, I used to take time for reflections hanging out down by the river. But now, for me, I find my reflections coming with my granddaughters on my knees. And, the sound of their joy and the sight of their tears. And I wonder, will we make this a better world for them? Or are we going to squander their inheritance? And there's a lot of things I want my granddaughters to learn. And for me, I think with some wisdom comes with age, but for some of us, age comes by itself. But I think I've come to understand when the best time. I think I've come to understand when the best time of my life might be. The best time of my life is yet to come. Because if we truly make a difference, a lasting difference, whether it's by planting a tree or protecting nature's wildness or protecting the natural laws of a river, the best time of our life will be lived long after we are gone. And that's a lesson I hope my granddaughter will learn. But there's another lesson that I hope she learns. And when she's old enough to understand, I will teach her this lesson. And I hope she shares this lesson with her grandchildren, and even hopefully with your grandchildren. She'll tell them, according to my grandfather, there was a time. Thank you.
That concludes our program. Please enjoy Eli, Joey, and Lynn Ann, who are playing.
How about playing This Land Is Your Land?